Trump says that woke is officially dead, capitals.
We actually passed a law that says that he can't deny access to members of Congress to show up to do the oversight. And he just violated that law. He, a couple of weeks ago, denied me access to this facility. Which is the first time in 6 years this has happened.
I want to hop into a wild ride of a Bill Maher episode with a Democratic Congress member discussing Trump and higher education and more. So if you can, take a moment, leave us a like on the video. It's free. It helps us out a ton. And let's get right to the content with some fact checks ready.
I have an ICE detention center in my district, right in the center of my district. And I've been doing oversight of this center since 2019 when I first came into office. And he, a couple of weeks ago, denied me access to this facility. Which is the first time in 6 years this has happened. I visit this facility pretty frequently. I have a Space Force base in my district. I visit that. I have a VA hospital. I mean, this is nothing new.
Space Force?
Space Force, yes.
What?
You sound confused by that.
I know what goes on there.
So, I mean,
well, finish this and then
yeah,
I'll
so he denied me access in the first administration. So we actually passed a law that says that he can't deny access to members of Congress to show up to do the oversight. And he just violated that law a couple of weeks ago, me and 11 others. So we are suing.
Who will rule on this?
The Federal District Court of the District of D.C.
Of D.C., I see. And who runs that? No, I mean, is it a Trump appointee? Is it, I mean...
Well, we haven't been assigned the judge yet. It'll be a random assignment of the judge.
I see.
It's annoying that Bill asked that. Personally, I wish people on the left would stop giving in to these kinds of conspiracies, or like the idea that a judge's political affiliation will affect their ability to give a fair trial. I mean, it's incredibly juvenile, where, I mean, the entire point of being a judge is to be impartial to the law, to impartially interpret and rule on the law. This, of course, this kind of idea only makes sense to those who are bought into the all against Trump conspiracy, where all Democrats, all Republicans who don't like Trump, all media, all institutions, all judges, all DAs and AGs, all juries and grand juries are in this deep state conspiracy to stop Trump. Why? Well, don't ask that. They haven't thought that far. And to his point, it is insane that we have democratically elected officials being denied the ability to do their lawful oversight that they were elected to do by faceless bureaucrats. And not only does the right not care at all, many of them cheer it on. It's almost like they don't actually care about faceless bureaucrats.
Trump says that woke is officially dead, capitals. I can tell you got to cloud some of this shit. You just officially dead at Brown. After that, their settlement with the administration. What do you make of the president's war on the academy? I don't know what the academy. I think he means. I think the person means academia.
Academia. Well, the
this
academy.
person should go to an academy. War on the academy. Yes, on academia. I'm not totally against it.
Yeah.
Academia needed a hot poker up the ass. Yep. I'm not saying not everything the way he's doing it, of course, is the right way. You know, to defund scientific research is not the way to do it. But I mean, our universities have been out of control for a long time. They became indoctrination factories.
These anti-academia rants are gross. I will not tolerate them. It's Bill Maher at his worst when he does them, and it's why he's a dummy himself, right? Obviously, regardless of your opinion, however, defunding medical research, scientific research, climate research, and student financial aid as revenge is obviously a sick and vile way to try to rule executive power of private institutions, mind you. And we all know that if Biden tried to do this with a conservative college, they'd be pretending it was the worst thing since World War II, since Hitler. They'd be calling him a dictator, running it on Fox News every day. We know this for a fact. However much MAGA will pretend that's not the case now, higher education is, as an institution, is created to push you to critically think, to critically engage with different points from different angles, to form your own hypotheses that are falsifiable based on educated guesses, essentially, on the evidence at hand, to then test them, observe the data, and ground them in the evidence. The benefit of this is immense, and those preaching against it should be approached with caution. We shouldn't really take them serious. Rich people want to destroy academia because a dumb population is easier to control. It's that simple. That's the only reason the right is pushing for this. So they'll teach you that critical thinking is indoctrination and blind skepticism is critical thinking.
Donald Trump is not interested in like making them more efficient or getting rid of overhead or dealing with affordability. Like, this is his woke culture war. This is his culture war against things that he doesn't believe in and want to see, and it's actually extending to our service academies.
Well,
West
you don't
Point
have to
Air
be
Force
Donald
Academy.
Trump to think that there's been something rotten on campuses for quite a long time. When you cannot speak the other side of the coin, when conservative thought, whatever you think of it, is just verboten, which is basically what happened on the, and some of the ideas. I mean, why do you think they erupted, so many of them, in cheers for what happened on October 7th? Why do you have professors coming out there and saying they were exhilarated?
You always have to ask these people what, because they'll never have an answer. Ask them what is wrong with academia when they say, well, it's rotted in all of this. Just ask that, right? Because they either have no answer, but, you know, woke indoctrination that they can't ever describe. They can't even describe woke, right? They let alone woke indoctrination on campuses, or just blatant lies like what Maher said. I would love you to show me the professors across higher education who were chanting or cheering on October the 7th, who still have their job, because I'm sure among the thousands who were protesting the genocide, that you could find one or two who maybe were vile, right? But the idea that that would be like supported by higher institutions and these people would still have their jobs is insane. Also, and at that, many of these higher institutions were mostly pro-Israel because of their own contracts and investments, and that's what the whole BDS movement was about. But aside from that, can anyone name any conservative ever who's been censored in academia? Can any of these clowns name one single conservative who was censored in academia? Seriously? Because again, people, the only people who don't give specifics are people who don't have specifics to give. This is like the easiest logic train that I wish I could teach all of you. If you take anything from me, it is the telltale clue as to someone who doesn't have evidence. Because if you have evidence, you go point, evidence, 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 conclusion. That is how anyone will detail their beliefs that has evidence. There are plenty of institutions that lean to be towards conservatives. There are plenty that are Christian in nature. The problem is, one, as conservatives now have this anti-academia feel and rhetoric, obviously their kids and their followers become less likely to go, just like when they were anti-mail-in ballots, their voters became less likely to vote through mail-in ballots, and conservatives also just do better with uneducated voters. This is the reality that they'll continue with by saying woke indoctrination, but it's because as you learn to research and critically engage, and you also become more empathetic and aware of the world around you, you realize conservatives not only quite literally have no solutions, but they have no idea what they're talking about often.